Hi, and welcome to Tremco Live, where we're socially distant but technically connected. I'm Marcy Tyler, the Director of Building Science for Tremco, and I'm joined by my co-host.
And I'm Paul Hoogenboom. I'm the president of the Tremco Construction Products Group, Marcy, a tremendous collection of brands, products, systems, and most of all, our people all over the world.
All over the world. And speaking of all over the world, I got an email today from one of our regulars who watches on YouTube. So we want to do a shout out to Behaven in Mumbai. So welcome to watching us, and we're excited that you watch regularly, and we'd love to hear about your projects and your challenges, because that's what we like to do here on the show. Talk about people's projects, their challenges, and their solutions.
Yeah, so maybe one day we could do a whole show just on India.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah. So we'll definitely reach out to you for that. And I also want to do another quick shout out to Jen Wadenful over in R&D. I stopped in to see her earlier today, and she said she would be joining us. So it's just always nice to kind of, say something back to all of you that love to give your feedback to us. So we do really appreciate your time and attention each and every week. Very exciting broadcast today, Paul.
Well, I always say it's one of my favorites, and I think everybody's figured out they're all my favorites.
Yes, Paul, you always say that.
Absolutely. It's in the Pantheon. It's in the Hall of Fame.
It is. It is.
One of my favorites.
Excited to be able to bring so many great technologies to everybody and systems on a regular basis. And I really am. Somebody asked me the other day, like, are you happy with what you're doing? And I really am, Paul. I think we're in an exciting time to be able to bring so many different systems and the interaction with our customers, even though it has to be virtual in some cases. It's really an exciting time.
Yeah, and I think it's not only exciting because of where we are today, it's also where we're going. So I think with the coming shows ahead of us every month, every year, we have so many things to cover. I think each of the different teams' innovation pipelines are incredible.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely exciting, and I have just coming up with different themes and topics. It's easy. It's easy because we have such great people to work with great stories to tell.
We are target rich.
Yes, we are. So if you've been joining us in the month of April, our feature is all about springing ahead and looking at time-saving technologies. So usually what I like to do is I like to highlight what we're going to be talking about today. And since we're talking about PUMA, it's great because it's so versatile, Paul. It's a coating, it's a roof membrane, it's waterproofing, and it does a lot of transitions too.
Yeah, it's got so many features and benefits that I think we're still, it's probably been around, the PMMA systems have been around for 30 years. PUMA itself was a concept about 20 years. It's been in the market for almost 20 years. And I think we're still learning always from our customers, applicators, new areas that it really excels in that we just would have never thought of ourselves. Exactly.
So it's definitely a key part of that whole collaboration of working so closely with our customers. And you know what, this system, these PUMA systems have so many different ways that they can be utilized and offer up so many advantages on our job site. This is just a few of those that you can see here. Roof decks, flashings, inside planters, helipads, traffic coatings, roof membranes, and I don't have a fountain, but I know we're going to be looking at a fountain here in a few slides. But there's so many different, the versatility of this technology is so amazing.
Yeah, and I think at least two of your pictures speak to its incredible durability. So you see the bridge, it's a wear course, also waterproofing, but a wear course, and then the helipad, right? There's just tremendous force and torque from those skids on those helicopters that would tear up anything but PUMA.
Absolutely. So when you think about that strength and that durability, that's why this is really becoming a key product and system to solve some of those difficult installations where maybe you're over an occupied space with a fountain, a pool, or even these planters that end up having living, growing media inside them. You want something strong and durable so that you're not going to have issues with that. We want to keep it contained, right?
Yeah, but then there's two other key themes that usually show up. One is cold weather, right? Because you can work with it to minus 20 F, although you and I often like, who the heck would work in minus 20 F?
But you can if you need to.
And they do in certain parts of the world. And then speed, right? The ability to be given access to something where time is money, but the ability to do things in mere hours that typically you want 3 to 5 days of good weather to do with ordinary systems.
Absolutely. And the feet on the street and your local technical sales rep, as well as your tech reps being able to be out there and helping you so that you really understand what you need to for your preparation of your substrates, and just as well as, you know, the limitations if there are any that we're looking at in each job. And as Paul mentioned, of course, I love this project that Steve Silva gave us from O'Hare. So lots going on, you know, not a lot of turnaround time where you can shut things down. Cold weather, you can see the snow, and a nice transition area and walkway where they needed something quick and durable. So great solution with that product. And of course, those themes we keep talking about: speed, versatility, and durability. Those are some key features. And another shout out here to Stephanie Langle, our product manager, who put this great blog together on Build Meets World that goes into that, exactly that speed, the versatility, and durability.
Yeah, Marcy, you mentioned, you showed it on the previous picture too, where our feet in the street, our technical support, with a system like this, especially ones that set up really fast,
yeah,
you want to make sure you get good support right when you start up.
Absolutely, and that's why we have that dedicated support staff, not only local for you, but also to understand those regional practices as well, which are such a key player in so many different types of applications. Now, the theme this month is all about speed, right? Time-saving technologies, bringing into action. So let's take a look at some information that we have just about that. So if we compare the EWS PUMA technology to a traditional urethane, this is just an example that we have here, and the project size for this example is about 1,500 square feet. Once again, those advantages that we've already talked about: the superior elongation, extreme abrasion resistance, rapid curing, of course, cold weather. Compatibility is huge. We didn't bring that up yet, but of course, that's a huge thing for us as an organization to really understand adhesion and compatibility of our system. And then, of course, a lot of what we talked about a couple months ago was about that power of one warranty and how it all comes together. So let's take a look at this, Paul.
Yeah, your compatibility comment also always reminds me that one of PUMA's special traits is it chemically bonds to itself. Yeah. So that's part of what makes it such a good system.
You're right, that when you're doing a repair or just from one coat to the next, it's really biting into the previous coat. So this example here, if we look at it, what we've done is a crew analysis, right? So you're going to have you're going to have more workers here that are going to be able to complete it in 1 day versus 4 days. So 1 day of prep, install, and cure. So you're good to go versus maybe a smaller crew, but more additional days and time and cure time that you have to be aware of as well.
And if you're outdoors, you need a weather window that can accommodate
exactly
that length and time.
Right, so not only do we know on a very perfect day you're going to take 4 days, but if you have weather that creeps in, a lot of these urethane technologies do require some additional priming in between coats if it does get rained on. So you want to be able to get that install done. So this is really going to be a hero on your project when you have that time consideration and weather considerations as well. So we just look at this example, and depending on the occupancy of that parking garage, you know, if you had to wait a certain number of days, you're not opening up to having those parking spots being occupied, right? So if we're looking at, you know, $60 a day in this example, 10 parking spots, it could be significant.
I thought you were going to make me do the math.
You're a math guy, but I'm not going to make you do it because we got it here. So if you look at that example of 10 parking spots, 60 a day, over that time frame that you would take for a traditional urethane, you know, obviously your owner is going to be able to put that revenue in their pocket versus having it shut down. So just that inconvenience of the occupants, right? If this was a residential building, where are they parking, right? And that disruption. So it's just great, once again, to really limit the disruption when you're using this type of technology. So a lot of times, you know, I always joke around when I go out into the field and work with people and talk to them about installing it. You know, someone argued with me once, they're like, well, how many windows have you detailed, Marcy? And it's like, never as much as the actual feet on the street, of course. So we always like to get that opinion of our actual feet on the street. So at this point, we'll be very excited to introduce our guest today. So Jorge Arnaiz, can you please join us? There he is.
I am here.
You're here.
Thank you for having me.
We're so excited to have you.
Thank you. I'm excited to be on.
Well, I've been admiring your posts for a while now on LinkedIn. So at one point, one of the most recent posts that you did, I reached right out to JB and I'm like, can you connect me? I would love to have him on Tremco Live. You not only have beautiful, beautiful pictures of installation, and to us in this world, we love seeing installation, but your the settings with palm trees and water in the background is not what we're looking at right now. We do have a golf course across from us.
I think Noria works on all of the famous islands in Florida. That's what I think.
Yes. Yeah, we definitely love it here. We get to work all year round, so it's great for business that we can work all the time and enjoy the good weather at the same time.
Absolutely. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience in the industry and, of course, the company Restore?
Okay, great. So I founded Restore in 2006 with my business partner, Juan Castro. We both started in the industry very young. I started when I was 14 years old, more on the coating side, painting and waterproofing and sealants. He started with his father in the concrete restoration side of the business. I'm 45, he's 42. So we've been doing it for a long time. It's all we've ever done is this. I originally didn't get involved in the industry because I wanted to. I was doing it more to just take my girlfriend out on a date, buy my first car, and little by little, I grew to love what I was doing. So it's been a long time, and we're very proud of the business that we've been able to build together. We do approximately $25 million a year in revenue. We have about 300 employees all year round, give or take a few here and there, but we're always busy. We always have a great backlog. We're a bondable contractor. We carry general liability, the limits, 1 million, 2 million, 5 million. And our specialty is concrete restoration, painting, and waterproofing. We do hospitality, commercial, multi-residential, and that's it for us. I mean, that's kind of in a nutshell about us.
Great. What a great partnership that you bring the concrete restoration in with your waterproofing and painting skills. I mean, that's incredible. It's a great partnership.
And that he started when he was 14.
I know, right? Exactly. That's awesome. Yeah. That's great.
I originally wanted to be in the aviation business. I originally wanted to get into the aviation business, but that's when Eastern and Pan Am and all the companies were going out of business. So I said, why am I going to go into an industry that's doing so poorly? So I migrated into the construction, and it's been great. It's been wonderful.
Well, you certainly have. You would have had good views in a plane, but I think the views of the pictures I'm looking at, they're pretty great too. As I mentioned, I've been following you on LinkedIn and just checking out some of your posts. I just thought these were some interesting posts that you've done recently or throughout the year about safety. Obviously, that's important. And I thought the other post that I captured here was about staying safe and staying healthy, and that was about a year ago, right, when we were just getting into this pandemic and how the beaches were empty. So you definitely do a lot of great pictures of your work, but of course that thought leadership, and of course we always like to focus on safety.
Thank you. Definitely. Yeah, safety for us is number one, especially when we have so many employees. We take great pride in our business, and we love our employees, and we want to make sure that they go home in the same or better condition that they came to work every single day. So we take safety very seriously. For that reason, we employ a full-time safety director, Mr. Carlos Suarez, and he holds a 500-hour OSHA, which allows him to train our employees and issue them 10-hour and 30-hour OSHA cards. So we definitely take safety very seriously, and also to keep the residents safe. We want to make sure that our guys are safe, but the unit owners and everyone visiting the buildings that we're working on, that they are safe as well.
Absolutely, and there were several other of your posts as well, showing you're giving yourself 6 feet of distance during a meeting, and of course, wearing the proper equipment and masks and whatnot. So great job with all of those posts.
Thank you. Yes, in order to make sure that all of our jobs kept running and we didn't have to shut any of them down, we had to immediately implement, all the procedures and protocols for COVID. And thank God we had very minor, people get infected here and there, but for the most part, we never had to shut down any project. We were always able to work, the whole time.
That's great. Just, I know you've sent me so many wonderful pictures of your project. I've got a few here that we could talk about and we could feature. This one in particular is another post that I captured on LinkedIn. And what I like about this one is it really shows your versatility. You've got painting, you've got waterproofing, I think you have some concrete repair, you know, a lot of your specialties all wrapped up in one here.
Yes, thank you. So yeah, there we're waterproofing the balconies with the 350, 351. We're doing the Tremco sealants on the windows. And then the pool deck, we are in the process of probably doing the PUMA system on the pool deck on this particular project. The owner, the project was originally scheduled for repairs of the existing pool deck with the PUMA system as part of the repair procedure, but now they're contemplating completely doing the entire deck with the PUMA system.
Great, that's awesome. That's great. So I love that versatility. And I think even, you know, the picture of access, right, and accessibility, right, when you're trying to, the picture on the lower right, to try to make it into these existing, right, as you mentioned, safety is such a key factor for you. You're going into these condos or these areas where there are people, right? So you gotta kind of get in there where you can. And I'm sure, and that's where you're helping choosing different systems that turnaround time, you know, whether it is using a traditional system where you can, or if you need to quicker turnaround time, the PUMA system, of course.
Correct.
And then I thought this one was really cool too. So this one was, you took like you showed some aerial pictures here. Tell me a little bit about this project.
So this is in Fort Lauderdale there at the Bahia Mar. That's a pedestrian bridge where we replaced the entire guts of the bridge per se. So all, you know, we demoed the whole entire bridge over A1A and into the beach. So we did the entire project over A1A without shutting down the street. We kept it open the whole entire time. And this was after the FIU collapse. I don't know if you remember the FIU collapse. It was all over the news. So when we went to permit this project after that collapse at FIU, it was scrutinized tremendously by the city of Fort Lauderdale and also by FDOT, because since it's over the roadway, FDOT owns that or is responsible for that portion. So we basically gutted the entire midsection of the bridge. We did all the concrete repairs on the bridge. We put new precast panels on the bridge. We waterproofed it with the Tremco 250 GC. And then we poured a topping slab over that and did a decorative finish over that as well. So it's up and running, and they were, I think they got it back before the Super Bowl, so they were happy about that. The bridge was condemned by the building department and FDOT for quite a while.
That's great restoration project there.
Well, especially with the heightened scrutiny, nothing like the bridge going down.
Right. Well, good thing you guys are always focused on safety and have that dedication there.
No, we were with a magnifying. They had a magnifying glass on us there.
I'm sure. Here's a couple nice photos with the view of the Toscana North condominium balconies. Tell us a little bit about these.
That's in Highland Beach. So yeah, there we're removing the overburden. We're doing again the 350, 351 system on that one, and then we're gonna go over with the Increte stamped concrete for their finishes. They've always had tile, but they've always had a lot of issues with the elevations and water getting back into the sliding glass doors because they don't have enough clearance. So we provided them a solution with the 350, 351 and the Increte as the overburden, so that they have something that is beautiful to look at. It's still, you know, is waterproofed because it's a very nice high-end building. So they didn't just want any old overburden. They wanted something that looked very nice. So that's what we're doing there.
It's great. And then this one, the Seacoast Fountain. I love the transition photos you provided here. Tell us a little bit about this project.
Yeah, so this fountain had been leaking into the garage for many years. So what we did there is there was an expansion joint that runs right in between that fountain. So we designed to build a wall to isolate the joint. We did the Tremco joint in between those walls, and then we waterproofed the fountain with the PUMA system. And as you can see, it's also we're able to provide them with the color that they wanted. They wanted a color, so we were able to tint the PUMA system to the color they wanted, and it's submerged underwater. And the owner loved it. We loved it. We were able to do it quickly, and this is in the center of the lobby of the building. So, you know, they wanted it open quickly, and we were able to do that with the PUMA system.
That's great. And when you think about, you know, lobby spaces, right? You want to make sure you get those up and running as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and color is something we rarely mention, but the ability to tint,
Yeah.
That's just another one of those easy to use features.
It is. And I think you did a couple other planters here as well with these pictures here.
Yeah, so that's the same building. That was actually the first project that we did for this particular building. It's also with the PUMA EWS system, and we were able to get in, you know, quickly. They're huge, large planters. They didn't have the money to do all of the decks, the entire deck and all of the planters at once. So we did multiple planters, and then Tremco designed a little detail on the outside of the planter wall, like a curved detail, to where we were able to flash on the outside of the planter wall, so that in the near future, when the association has the rest of the money to do the entire deck, when we strip the deck, we can just tie in at all the planter locations to the existing PUMA flashing. So that's what we did there, and the client was so happy that everything that we do on this project, on this property, is PUMA now.
That's great.
Whatever it is, they love it. They want PUMA, even if it's just a balcony. They want the PUMA on it. They don't want the 350, 351. They want the best, and that's, you know, they're willing to pay for the best, and we like that, because obviously, you know, we like to put down the best products.
And you know that the connectivity, I love that you were able, you know, the guys were able to work with you to get that detail going. So as you continue to progress, you could just go ahead and connect from one area to the next.
Back to our earlier comment about the chemical bonding to itself, it's just makes it easy to do.
Yeah, it does. It's great. These pictures are awesome. How about this one here, Fisher Island? I want to use some of these as my backdrop, I think, on my computer.
Yeah, these are large planters. Very large planters in Fisher Island over garage space. It's between two towers, between two of the buildings. We restored one of the buildings, and then this was additional work that they did. We also did the joints. And again, the plan with this is to eventually do the rest of the deck. So this works out perfectly because of all the tie-ins. And that's one of the things that I personally have enjoyed ever since I started working with the PUMA system, is that, talking about versatility, is that we can use it anywhere, you know, vertical, horizontal, in planters, on decks, inside pools, water features. So we can only use, you know, we have the ability to use one product. We don't have to use multiple products. We can use one product to go inside the pool. And that's what we're doing a lot of these days, is pools with this with the PUMA system, because a lot of these other products do not bridge, you know, the cementitious products do not bridge the gaps, and these pools tend to move a lot once they're under load, so they tend to crack and then start to leak. So I love the fact that we can waterproof the pool deck, go right into the pool, and have a monolithic, you know, membrane throughout. It's like a bulletproof system. So we go inside the planters at the same time. So it's wonderful. We really enjoy it.
And I love what you said on some of the previous slides about, like, seeing is believing, right? Like, once they started to see this, they wanted to just keep going with it. And I think this one in particular, this project brought you about this one.
Yes, and that's one of the things that I love about the product too, is that it comes with a root warranty as well. All the other, a lot of the other waterproof products that are scheduled to be put inside these planters, you know, yes, they're scheduled to put down with a root barrier, and all that is great. But if the root system is very aggressive and it makes its way through the root barrier system, which we've always seen that does occur, for whatever reason, the roots love those black membranes. It's like food for them. I don't know. So the waterproof warranties for the planters, they come with a waterproof warranty, but not with a root warranty. So if the roots damage the membrane, their waterproof warranty is out the door, is what I tell the clients. You know, if the root system damages the membrane, then your waterproof warranty is goes out the door. With the PUMA EWS system, it comes with a root warranty because the roots cannot damage the membrane. So you actually have a real warranty for your planters. And we all know how expensive landscaping is. That's one of the largest expenses on these projects. It's having to remove all of the contents and landscaping that is inside these massive planters that are sometimes, you know, 10, 20, 30 stories up in the air, getting all of that debris down to the ground, and then obviously putting new material in those planters and new landscaping is super expensive. So the PUMA system is wonderful because of the fact that it comes with that root warranty that I was talking about. And I love it too because you don't have to put termination bars. You don't need termination bars. Basically, you just remove the stucco around the top cap, and you can take the membrane, you flash, and you go right over the parapet wall of the planter wall. You just re-stucco it, and you don't have any penetrations in the planter from the installation of the termination bars.
Excellent. I'm glad you brought all that up. When we talk about durability, when you think about helicopter landing on it, you can visually see that, but think about that. The roots find their way through stuff, right? And so that durability that this provides and that peace of mind to that owner, because you don't want to go back in and have to remove all that.
Yeah, and also costly. The termination bar consideration.
Yeah, because obviously they're needed in some systems, but then you're penetrating what you just put in. So it's just another great feature. Thank you so much for sharing all that with us. And we have one final one here. This lovely one, I think, is where the conversation started with you, me, and JB about the Ivy Pool Deck and what you did here. Look how beautiful.
Yes. So this is a huge property. It's a huge property. They have multiple pools, multiple fountains, a lot of water features. Everything was waterproof with the Tremco PUMA EWS system as well. We did concrete restoration, and everything was stripped down to the bare concrete. The EWS was put in, the PUMA system, and then new finishes, new tile, and there was some concrete repair that went along with it. But we are doing more and more pools these days with the PUMA system because it's just the right fit. Again, these cementitious products, if there is no cracks in the pool, and there will never be any cracks in the pool, it works well as a waterproofer in a sense. But if the pool starts to crack or what have you, the cementitious is not going to work. The PUMA will work.
And there most likely will be a crack at some point. So that's where the cementitious could have issues. Well, you know what, Jorge, thank you so much for your time with us today. As I said, the time will go by in a blink of an eye, as it just has. So
yeah, and we're going to come back, but on site.
Yeah, we're coming down. We're going to come down and see you in person next time. Thank you so much for your contributions. Thank you so much for working with us, and these pictures and your stories were just amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. Look forward to being on maybe another time.
Absolutely, for sure. We would love to have you again.
Bye-bye.
Bye, thanks.
Sorry.
Super exciting. That was great. And I love this. We talk about relationships and we talk about nurturing them and building them. Daryl Lane told me he's known Juan, so his partner since Daryl was 16. So.
Wow. Since the beginning.
Yes, so I love hearing stories like that. I loved everything that Jorge featured today and talking about this system and how it really has become a key part of their offering and their expertise. So
yeah, it was interesting to learn just as they keep proceeding with it that it's just more and more of a go-to system, which we hear a lot.
Yeah, we do. It's very, very exciting stuff. So Paul, we made our way through a couple different technologies. We have a few more coming up. We've got five, I said five Fridays in the month of April where we'll be able to feature time-saving technology. So as always, if there is a project you want to feature, an installation, performance aspect that you would really love to have, we'd love to hear from you. Let us know. And
Have you decided on next week, or is it still up in the air?
I have.
Okay, but you won't tell me?
I like keeping Paul waiting.
Okay.
Just in case I need to be flexible.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, so April's all about time-saving technology, and I love what May is. May is about history. So we're gonna kind of go back in time and look at these technologies, where they came from.
Okay,
And you know, hearing this story from Normie today about starting when he was 14, you know, and getting together with his friend Juan, and then learning that Daryl, you know, that they were friends from back then too. Like this is what it's all about, Paul.
Yeah, relationships. And, that's one of the great stories.
It is. That's great. So everybody, thank you once again for your time and attention today. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you next Friday.
Be safe, everybody. See you next week.
Thanks.